Take me back to the place I know, with the mystery shack and the forest gnomes. I'm already packed, so come on, let's go. Don't get me started, my heart's in Gravity Falls.
Welcome to Mystery Shack Look Back, a nostalgic time capsule and no spoiler book club of the original Gravity Falls fandom. We are your curators. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Charley.
And I'm Ella. That's right.
Surrender now and prepare to fight. So as we have alluded to, Shelby is sort of a curosant.
Do I have to do a new swearing in?
You already called yourself a docent at the beginning of our Inside Job podcast. So if you want to just do a graduation right real quick because you felt left out, we could.
Oh, no, it's just you didn't make me, surrender my next spaghetti meal or something. All right.
Repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
I, state your name.
I, Shelby,
will not question if my spaghetti goes missing.
Will not question if my spaghetti goes missing.
All right, there you go.
Well done.
Now you're a curosant.
Yes!
So, I know that we brand ourselves as a half nostalgic time capsule, for old fans, and half a no spoiler book club for new fans of the Gravity Falls fandom. But it seems like today we're kind of in a very specific mood. We're feeling more like a book club this week, I think. Wouldn't you say?
Today, I'm strictly on the book club side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because we just read Dipper and Mabel's Guide to Mystery and Nonstop Fun. Read's probably not the right verb. We just did?
Experience. We experience.
The technical title would be Dipper's and Mabel's Guide to Mystery and Nonstop Fun, but that's really clunky.
There is no way Rob Renzetti signed off on that name. Anyway, this book was ghostwritten by Rob Renzetti, Shane Houghton, and Stephanie Ramirez. It's not super clear on what the distribution of labor was.
If only there was a way we could find out.
Yeah, we should ask Rob Renzetti sometime.
Yeah.
I was the lead author. Shane was the other author. We were both co-authors. I don't really remember how much I did versus how much he did. We split. We just kind of brainstormed ideas, put an outline together, pitched it to the Disney publishing people and to Alex. They both had their feedback. Alex had more feedback than Disney publishing. And we just kind of went from there. And I kind of organized the books into the chapters and the themes and the sections, and kind of figured out how one thing could flow into the other. And then Shane would submit the sections or the pages that he wrote to me, and then I would kind of figure out what the order of how things should kind of flow together and how things were grouped.
So I wanted to ask, Chris Houghton had previously worked on Gravity Falls. He designed the Submarine Trickster. Him and Matt Brawley were behind the Big Henry sequence. But how did Shane get involved in the book? Because to the best of my knowledge, I don't think he has a credit in Gravity Falls before this. Shane is Chris's brother, for the listener's context. The reason that Big City Green says created by the Houghton brothers is it's Chris and Shane.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how Shane came to it, but Shane was around Disney because him and Chris were pitching their own shows.
Gotcha.
To Disney, and they were in development for a few years.
Oh, I'd really love to see one of those sometime. Wait.
Yeah, eventually it became Big City Greens.
I remember
but they were in development
it was Country Club at first.
On something
that
different.
Was like the title. That
it was Country Club at first, and also they had a whole different show for a long time that didn't go anywhere. And then when that was a no, it wasn't a complete no. It was like a no, but we'd like to see something else from you guys.
Let's work with you.
And they took elements of that and kind of twisted into Country Club, which became Big City Greens.
Gotcha.
Wow. And Chris was on the show, was on Gravity Falls a couple of times. He was a board artist. He went away to work on their comic book. He came back to do more board work. As you say, he was involved in designs and stuff like that, as well. So I don't know. I don't remember if Chris was on the show when we were writing the book, or if he was away at that point. But Shane knew about Gravity Falls, and we kind of knew about Shane, though I'd never really met him until we started working together on this book.
Yeah.
But he was someone that was around, and Disney was aware of him, and so it seemed like a natural fit to because there was a lot of work to do.
Because they liked their work. They wanted to give them something to...
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They liked their work, and they liked Shane's sense of humor. And Chris thought he would be a good fit for us.
Yeah.
And Alex was intimately involved in all the different parts of this. Shane and I came up with a bunch of stuff. I put an outline together, pitched it to the publishing execs. Alex added most of the code stuff. I was the one that suggested we do a section on codes and show the kids like how you can do the different ciphers and also
it's so
Morse
good.
code.
You can cut out your own cipher wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suggested that as a section, but he did he ghost wrote a little bit of things. Like he took a final pass.
The bill page feels very Alex.
The bill page was done by Alex. He also did the in Spooklopedia, the page on ghosts where you'll see there's a ghost.
Oh.
He talks about ghostwriters at the end. And he was a ghostwriter. One of my favorite sections that I did that was I think untouched almost is the time travel section with the multiple dippers basically trying to undo whatever further in the future dippers.
Blendon redacting all of the Yeah.
And did that originate with the discussion that potentially season 2 could start with future Dipper visiting Dipper?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that was an idea at some point, but I'm just a sucker for time travel.
Yeah,
so
Michael Rianda had tweeted that was how he wanted season 2 to start.
Okay, well, we did talk about that for a very long time. We had a very hard time starting season 2, but that's a whole nother discussion.
It was published by Disney Press on October 7th, 2014. So right after the last episode that we talked about, Little Gift Shop of Horrors, and we've previously discussed Rumble's Revenge and Heinz Quest, the browser flash games that were released in between episodes, but here we're talking about our first Gravity Falls book.
October 2014. Where were you guys in October 2014?
Let me think.
So I did the research. I think we were at an event together in October 2015.
Okay, so this book signing was a year after the release of the book. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, because October 2014 was you and I.
Yeah, that was when we first met.
Comic-Con,
Okay,
where we met up in person for the first time.
And, well, there we go then. In
if you want to know
2015
where I was in October of 2014.
No, we don't have to go back. We can just keep that in. On October 2015, Alex Hirsch was a guest at New York Comic-Con and decided, because he wanted to not just host a panel, but actually do a meet and greet with his fans, asked if he could sign some copies of Dipper's and Mabel's Guide to Mystery and Nonstop Fun.
Like, okay, I'm guessing the justification is that it's written like Dipper just wrote Dipper's Guide to Mystery, and then Mabel wrote and Mabel's, like, but it's...
But,
yeah.
Do you remember that book signing, Shelby?
I sure do. I was fleeing the Great Flood of 2015 in the South.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was up in New York meeting my best friend for the first time. Meeting my best friends for the first time.
Aww.
Meeting your best friend and your best friend's best friend.
Actually, that's pretty accurate. Yeah, my best friend and my best friend's best friend, who's now also my best friend. Congratulations, Ella.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
And you tuned my ukulele.
I did tune your ukulele. I think did we film like a spot for something?
We were gonna stream the 3DS game, and I decided to have you and I.
Oh, that's right.
Doing a kazoo ukulele kind of jam session as the background for the spot for that, like as the background music and background footage for that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Kazookalele, our old band.
So,
we haven't gone back to that in a while.
And get that band back together.
Well, now I play melodica.
You do play melodica. I can play kazoo, and Ella can play the ukulele.
Oh my gosh!
There you go.
There we go. We've got a full band.
Kazoo-kaladica.
I love it.
So
coming to your hometown, baby. But yeah, so we were all at that convention.
So
I wasn't in line the whole time with you.
You weren't in line?
No, I was going around meeting other people that day, first part of the day.
Okay, so you came and stopped in the line for the book signing to hang out with me and Shelby for a bit.
Yes.
Yes. But I remember what it looked like.
So you actually had to buy your book there at the stand to be eligible to get it signed?
Okay.
And you could only get one book to get signed. So I got one for me, and I think that Charlie was getting one for my friend in North Carolina signed.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it does seem like whoever set that up for Alex may have slightly underestimated
Underestimated.
the scope of the Gravity Falls fandom at that point.
So, New York Comic Con is held at the Javits Center, the Jacob Javits Center in New York City. There is a very, very large, an entire wing of the building is the signing hall, so there can be cues that don't interrupt everyone's enjoyment of the signing hall.
Yeah.
And also there is, as in every convention, a dealer's room, and Disney Press had a booth at the dealer's room. And so the people of New York Comic Con assumed, oh, it's a Disney show. How many fans could it possibly have? And put Alex at the Disney Publishing or Disney Press booth for Disney books.
They clearly did not do their research because the two biggest fandoms at that time were Gravity Falls and Steven Universe.
Absolutely. And Undertale. And
Yeah, and Undertale. To the point that there was a booth in the lobby that I couldn't get in line for because it was too long, where they were recreating things from TV shows, and Cookie Cat and
the
Mabel
food
Juice.
trucks.
Yeah, those were featured in it.
They had Cookie Cats, and they had, I don't remember if that year was Mabel Juice or Smile Dip.
It was Mabel Juice because Alex and Rebecca went and got them together.
Ah, cute.
I distinctly remember people trying to navigate the dealer's room for things other than the Alex signing, hated that there was this stagnant, non-moving line.
Army of Dipper
And yeah,
hats.
we had to like kind of squeeze against each other almost to make room for people to pass
Which
through.
now,
Shelb-
now almost 3 years into pandemic.
No, everything about New York Comic Con sounds insane.
Yeah, now I'm just like, ugh. But yeah.
Shelby, how long were we in that line?
Oh, we were in line before it moved for at least 20 minutes. I remember one of the attendants coming up and down the line and saying, all right, you can't ask Alex for something special. You can't ask him for a picture. You can't do this. You can't do that. He's too nice a guy.
Just sign
Yeah,
it
just
and go.
sign it and go. Because he was taking pictures and he was talking to every single person that was going up to talk to him.
Shelby, how were you dressed?
I had specifically made the outfit. I couldn't talk about it the last time I was on because the episode hadn't happened yet. But I made the outfit that Mabel wears in the last episode of the penultimate episode of season 1, her Dreamscaper's outfit with the sweater with the sunset and the kitten fists.
Yep.
And I knitted the sweater myself, and I made the kitten fists like I had to make them like a mascot head. So I hand carved those and sewed those by hand and painted them and dyed the fur. And it took me a while to make it, but I got up to the front of the line with like a little journal 2 that I made for him because I was like, he probably has journal 1. He definitely has journal 3.
How did you hold anything?
How did I hold anything? Charlie had to hold.
I had to hold a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
Including my phone because we weren't allowed to take pictures with Alex. So it's like, Charlie, can you just take pictures of me while I'm meeting Alex?
Well, yeah, so he asked for a picture with you, and you, like, looked at someone from the convention staff and said, is that okay? And they said, if Alex asks for it, sure.
Yeah, Alex overrules.
Yeah. So the first thing Alex said to me was, oh my gosh, I love your sweater. Mabel would love your sweater. Can I get a picture of it? And I said, okay.
And then you lifted your arms and he saw the kitten fist, and then he was
He was like,
freaking
well,
out.
I gotta get a picture with you. And I just like looked over at Charlie, was like,
And I was holding Shelby's phone, and she's like, Charlie, can you get, do you know how to get the camera up? It just ran over to me real quick and got me into it.
Yes, so we will post, and then he tweeted it, didn't he?
yeah, he tweeted it. So the only picture I have, because my phone camera was terrible.
It sure was.
It was awful. So the picture that I have.
But Alex's was quite nice.
Alex's was really good. But I remember looking over at Charlie and the lady going, hey, look over here. The camera's over here.
Oh my gosh, the pressure. Yeah, so we will post
And
that
Yeah.
the camera's over here picture.
The link to Alex tweeted it out. Ariel Hirsch was the first reply.
Yeah, I really would like to send her those kitten fists if I can get a P.O. box for her, honestly.
And Charlie, you talked about your experience at this particular signing in the sock opera episode.
Yes. So I was after this, I had to rushed East Village to work on a sound strike for an off-Broadway show on Christopher Street. So, yes, I was not able to wear a cosplay and just brought a Fozzie Bear puppet in my backpack to have something. And yeah, I had an improv scene with Alex. I don't need to tell it again. I could just play the exact conversation. Alex casually, like there was no novelty to this at all, said, "Oh, hey, Fozzie. It's been a while." Like, he's just, like, used to seeing Fozzie, and it's not that strange for him. Like, he's so calm and chill about it. So I have to yes and that weird attitude. I want to be like, why does this guy feel this way about Fozzie? So I go, "That's right. You had me consult for some of the puppet stuff in sock opera." And he goes, "Yeah, that's right. Sorry we had to pay you in honey, by the way." And I said, "Oh, I don't mind that at all." And that was my first interaction with Alex. It was an improv scene in 2 lines each.
In the middle of New York Comic Con.
But anyway, we've all tackled the activities in the book back in the day, but within the past week, the 3 of us have successfully done every mystery and all of the fun, nonstop.
It was nonstop fun, you know? I will honestly say it was nonstop fun. We've talked about our personal histories with the book signing and all that, but the book itself is honestly nonstop fun.
And we have the certificates to prove it.
We do!
But my personal favorite highlight is there is one page where Mabel challenges you to see how many socks you could fit on one foot, how many hats you could fit on your head, and how many sweaters you could fit on at once. All of us realized that we had access to those things. Shelby was like, "Wait, I own a lot of sweaters." And I was like, "Wait, Miles got me socks for Christmas, and I haven't opened them yet."
I have a lot of hats.
Yeah, but it'll be in the description on Libsyn, and it'll also be in the reply and the tweet for this episode, the pictures of me wearing...
Yeah, why not? Let's all give our final numbers.
Yes, I wore 19 socks on one foot, and the primary way this affected me, weirdly, was that I was out of breath. My left foot is bare for scale in the Twitter picture, so you're welcome.
I fit 15 hats on my head, having to balance all those. These included a dipper hat, a witch-style pointy hat, a red beret, and more.
And I ended up with 10 sweaters on, and the results of which meant I looked like the kid from A Christmas Story who couldn't put his arms down, and I needed my partner to undress me because I lost feeling in my arms.
So we have both a picture of Shelby with her arms permanently raised up, and of the wonderful and beautiful Cody Miles assisting Shelby. It was so funny, his reaction when you were like, "Cody, help!" And he was like, "What?"
You couldn't even see his face, but he looked so
basically this
disappointed
energy
in
of like,
me.
you got yourself into this. Like
the way he reacted to me being in all those sweaters, I think he had to put another sweater on me too.
So there are some activities in this book that are like based in real life that you just do it. But there are others that you get to write and or draw in the book.
And you guys found out I was the best at mazes, which I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But because of this, I don't remember which ones of us got new copies, but I got a new copy to draw in.
All 3 of us got new copies for this.
Yeah, we got new copies to draw and write in, and one to...
And there's a...
You can get it from Abe Books.
In the description.
I love that the book carries on something that our friend Abby Kirby talked about a bit, of how Gravity Falls is so encouraging to audience participation.
Mm-hmm.
And especially something like this is like perfect for kids, I think, who are fans of the show.
And for goofy trans people in their 20s and 30s.
That sounds
well,
right.
yeah, that goes without saying. But
that sounds pretty relatable.
Because there are a lot of moments in the book that offer like a great deal of freedom that was like draw waddles in any outfit or whatever.
Oh yeah, we drew some pretty beautiful outfits.
I don't want to sound too much like these kids on their iPads and but there's something to be said about a book that encourages this kind of tactile like engagement with the world, with like tear this page out, like crumple it up, do whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
like,
you have to, there's one page that you have to tear out and crumple up to use as a pet. So obviously none of us did that in our signed copies.
Yes.
But we all got to do it this week because the book is right now $9 on Amazon.
Crumply is a beautiful, beautiful pet.
We should all take a picture of where our pets are.
And in regards to, as I said earlier, you draw whatever you want on Waddles, I gave him a Homestar Runner cosplay.
Yes.
Shelby gave him a top hat and a monocle and platform shoes.
Yeah, Lady Gaga shoes.
Yeah, I gave him, let's see.
Oh, Ella gave him a beret, put a stage behind him. It's a whole look.
Stunning.
A whole
10 out of 10.
It's a whole fashion show. And it perfectly combines, like, the kids who want to, do the more dipper stuff of like, maybe there's something weird going on in your town, or maybe, like, there's something out in the forest behind your house, or, like, and then you got, the more Mabel kids who draw, or, they want to just be chaotic, like Mabel, basically. And it's just, there's something very pure about that to me, about encouraging kids to imagine and create like that.
There was a part of the book where she instructs you on how to make a sock puppet, but gives you complete freedom to its name, its personality, its interest.
Not the voice, though. You basically have two options for the voice.
It's either really high
Or really low.
So the three of us all made sock puppets and then figured out the personalities by doing a little scene with each other. So we got to play like kids or professionally trained improv actors. There is no difference.
Yes.
Well, kids are a little more mature. It all reminds me of a story that I'm kind of surprised I haven't told yet, and maybe I did, and we can edit this later. But so I've referred a few times to being at this summer camp and talking with people about Gravity Falls because they were some of the first people that I ever engaged with who also watched the show. But years later, this was 2015 as well, actually. I was working there. I was assisting because it was an arts camp. I was assisting the ceramics instructor. And he had two kids, a brother and sister, and they all watched Gravity Falls as a family, and that was something that we talked about now and then. And the kids were young. I would say, let's say 10. So it was fascinating as someone who was only really, with the online fandom, the teenagers, the young adults, to be reminded of, oh yeah, kids like this cartoon. Kids watch this show. And there was an event, Halloween in July. It was our, you dress up that day. And I went as Seuss. And so I was helping out all day dressed as Seuss. And so the comparison came up with the kids of oh yeah, the instructor who I was assisting is their Grunkle Stan, and they're the Dipper and Mabel. And somehow, I know they were drawing Gravity Falls stuff that day. We just ended up snowballing into, we made a paper fez for the instructor, for their father, with the floating gray eyebrows. There was a long wooden pole that we spray painted a tennis ball black on and put the 8-ball on there. And I think we had a baseball cap that we just kind of fixed some paper to make it the pine tree hat, and made a paper journal for Dipper's costume. Made for our impromptu Mabel, it was a paper headband, paper cat to tape onto the shirt to look like the sweater, and paper grappling hook. And that was our ensemble, and that was amazing.
That
it's
is
one
so
of the
cute.
best times I've had with engaging with this show. And it's just, that same energy is what the book captures, I think.
That's so cute.
Of why can't we just make it? Who cares if it is, rudimentary? We're just having fun.
We had so much. I would go as far as to say that we had nonstop fun.
Yeah, definitely nonstop fun.
But yeah, it's as far as the purity of engaging with this show on an inner child level or on a literal child level, that's always what I think of, and it's a treasured memory of mine related to this little cartoon.
That's how Shelby's first cosplay was Freddy Fish, which is to say,
it's exactly like that.
They crawled around naked on the floor pretending to be a fish.
I sure did. My sister joined in. She was Luther. It was great. I remember I was doing a Christmas story, and I came in dressed as Dipper because I was going to a con right afterwards, and I had some kids that came up afterwards and drew pictures for my journal.
Oh, yeah!
It's the cutest little thing. I love it.
Because, of course, I drew Gravity Falls stuff, like, every day.
Yeah.
And it became kind of an echo chamber, so to see, like a kid's drawing of Bill Cipher or Grunkle Stan, I was like, that's...
the most precious
that
thing
totally
in the world.
reminds me of the point of it all. Just like, oh, that's why we do this.
I mean, it was,
right.
I remember two kids made me ghost pages, and this is before we had access to a journal that had ghost pages.
Or ghost writers.
Or ghost writers. They made it for my my journal that I drew by hand, so I had, like, their pages in my journal for the longest time. It was so cute.
It's so good. We got to write our favorite words over and over at Mabel's request.
I have no idea what my favorite word is. So I asked the two of you, and Shelby, mishearing me, told me paradox because that is what Shelby was writing, because that is Shelby's favorite word.
Well, Charlie, we are twins. We can have the same favorite word.
And also, not only, you pointed out it's a word that's in Back to the Future a lot, it's also a song from Pirates of Penzance, so I'm like, yeah, close enough.
We have enough things in common accidentally, like the fact that we both dressed up as Alex Hirsch on the same day, that we can have the same favorite word.
On the same day at two different states.
Two different states. I remember apologizing to Alex and being like, I'm sorry I dressed up like you.
And he was like, no, I mean, I wear the same clothes every day. This is on purpose, clearly.
He literally was just like, nah, I love weird stuff. It was funny. And I was like, okay, thank you.
The art in this book is partly screenshots from the show and partly new illustrations.
Possibly some board art, too. We don't know.
I'm not sure who did those illustrations.
I was gonna say, yeah, if only there was some sort of...
If only there was a way to ask Rob.
We'll have to ask Rob about that sometime.
Stephanie did most of the artwork. Some of the artwork was just pulled from the show as pre-existing artwork.
Stephanie was on the character design team, correct?
Stephanie was on the character design team, yeah. And she did all, like I said, anything that's an original drawing in this book was, I think, done by her.
Yeah,
but there's lots of artwork that's just pulled from model sheets and pose sheets and all that kind of stuff, too.
Was she one of the season 2 hires?
She was, yeah. She came in on season 2.
One of my favorites is page 22, and a few other times throughout the book, Seuss takes over to give you instructions on how to make some kind of crafty mystery thing. And those illustrations are just adorable. He's kind of got like a UPA style, very shapely body, just kind of a bowling pin shaped body.
Very Gerald Boing Boing.
Yep. There you go, UPA. And he's just so adorable.
He's so cute.
And on one of the pages, he tells you how to make an Eclipse viewer, which we didn't bother with this time because it required a cereal box, and I don't own cereal right now. I didn't feel like going out and buying some and then finishing it.
Well, we also don't have an Eclipse anytime soon, so... That's
true. But when I first did the activities in this book, I did do it exactly to Seuss's instructions. So... there we go.
You know, as with Rumble's Revenge and Pine's Quest, even a seemingly superficial, just for fun, in-between episodes thing, with a show like Gravity Falls, everything ties in to continuity, at least in some small way. On page 39, we get some more lore about your friend and mine, Quentin Tremblay, the 8th President of America, and the founder of Gravity Falls.
Now, you just wrote more Quentin Tremblay lore. Did you write what lore it is in anywhere?
I do know that he outlawed moon people. That's new.
That's true.
He gave beavers the right to vote in 1922.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good for him. Kind of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back term, I would say.
Oh, also that his favorite color is triangles.
Yeah. And although he did wage war on pancakes, his favorite food is waffles.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. That tracks.
So he likes waffles, but doesn't like pancakes. Can he wait to get some French toast, is my question.
Well, I think he can wait to get, like, the whole thing, but just one mouthful? He can't wait. Do.
Last week, we said that Mabel's fear of claymation was
the dying gasps of the scrapped Labyrinth parody plot about Dipper's fear of puppets.
But nope, we were incorrect. One more.
The
The Labyrinth plot pops up and says, I'm not dead yet. 'Tis merely a flesh wound!
Yeah, it does. Because Dipper, in part of the book, is a guide to, any supernatural creatures you might find, including possessed sock puppets. And Dipper talks about how creepy they are to him.
There we go.
I was wondering if maybe they made that around the same time. So if it's not necessarily a remnant, it's just something that got released a little after. Because it takes about a year for a book, about a year for an episode.
I'm not sure, though. We should ask Rob when the production of this book took place.
Yeah, you should ask Rob.
We'll have to remember to ask.
That took us a half year to write it. It took much longer to get it published.
Oh, gotcha.
And part of the reason, I'm just kind of guessing on how long we worked on it, too. It might have been less than half a year.
So when, in relation to the show, was it, talked about?
We were in the middle of the show. Well, I think what's the copyright on the book? Is it 2014?
Yes.
We started writing it in late 2013.
On the page of secret societies, there are members of the Blind Eye. There are people in red
With
robes
the
with
eye.
the crossed out eye on them. So we were like, did they know that this was going to be released?
I think we tried to time.
Close succession?
I think we tried to time it that way. It was definitely the understanding was that it was going to be. It was anything that had been talked about in season 1. We could talk about it in the book, but the stuff in season 2 we just wanted to hint at.
Right.
Because it was supposed to be released somewhere I think originally it was meant to be out before second season ever started, but I don't think...
that would also explain why Dipper says he hopes he's never stalked by possessed sock puppets.
Yeah, they hint at the sock opera stuff as well, in a way that...
They hint at the sock opera stuff in a way that seems very no spoiler, and that's weird given that this was released after sock opera, so that actually makes a lot of sense.
Publishing dates move all the time. Now that I'm working on my own stuff, I'm very well aware of the fact that publishing is like publishing, deadline slides. So I think it was just took longer for them to get it all put together.
How did the communication with Disney Publishing differ from the communication with Disney TVA?
It only differed in that they were in a different building, honestly.
Okay.
We actually, I don't say we had less trouble because that sounds like we had trouble with our execs on the television show, and we really didn't. They let us get away with a lot. They liked Alex's sense of storytelling, and we got some pushback from standards and practices, but every show gets that. This was my first experience publishing a book, and it was actually... And
you never forget your first, right?
That's right. My first original book, The Horrible Bag of Terrible Things, little plug.
Oh yeah, gotta plug.
Rob, when is your book dropping?
Not till summer of 2023.
Listeners, if you don't check out The Horrible Bag of Terrible Things, we will make you walk the plank. I'm sorry.
Into a horrible bag of terrible
I think
things.
it will be fun. Much like Dipper and Mabel's Guide, I believe it will be fun for all ages. And
we're gonna shave your belly with a rusty razor.
I don't remember Mabel telling you about that.
That doesn't sound very Mabel-like.
She would make sure the razor was clean.
Mabel correcting the drunken sailor. No, use this razor. And then she's like, hey, don't go against the grain. What are you doing, drunken sailor, early in the morning?
You silly drunken sailor. We also get a letter from little Gideon, who is in prison.
The whittlest prison inmate.
Which tells us about when this is chronologically. Dipper talks about having met Bill Cipher, and Gideon is in prison, so it's a post-season 1 book. But we check in again on little Gideon. We haven't really heard from him since the shorts. I think I just have to read this, don't I?
Please do.
I'm pretty sure you should just read it.
Your Gideon impression is, amazing.
Wait, do you want to cue it up as Strong Bad?
Okay. Gravity Falls Maximum Security Prison. U.S. Penitentiary. P.O. Box 10-1-9-12. Gravity Falls. Or 26916.
Hello, dearest Mabel. Even though I am away, I wrote this short note to let you know I'm thinking of your lovely face, and how I can get my revenge against you and the whole accursed Pines family. The warden keeps us all on a pretty tight schedule, but I try to find a little me time each day to reflect on what I've done wrong and how I can avoid repeating the same mistakes when I get out on parole and put my next evil scheme into action. Here's what a typical day looks like for me. Sunrise and wake at 7 a.m., one-handed push-ups till 7:15, bribe the guard for hair gel and comb at 7:20, style hair from 7:25 to 8, breakfast 8 to 8:30. It's difficult staying on a low-carb diet in here, but I must preserve my figure. Rehabilitative art program 9 to 11:30. Right now I'm going through an abstract expressionist phase. Lunch is from 12 to 12:30. I eat a small salad and an orange. Twice a week I smash my potatoes into the face of the biggest guy at my table to reestablish my dominance. Free play in the yard 12:30 to 1:30, where I like to sunbathe and work on my gorgeous tan. Rehabilitative license plate making 2 to 5:30. Evening meal from 6 to 7. The chocolate pudding is my one weakness. Bribe Daniel the guard for latest issue of Preacher's Digest at 7:10. From 7:15 to 8, I read and even relax a bit before I plot my revenge from 8 to 9. Lights out at 9, then I stew in hatred for most of the night and dream my funny little nightmares. Though I cannot imagine how painful it will be to see your entire family destroyed right before your very eyes, I just want you to know that I will be there for you. Well, obviously I will be there since I will be the one doing the destroying. I'm sure you understand. But once we have the unpleasant business of your family's elimination behind us, I hope that maybe you'll consider giving me another chance. Dinner and a movie, perhaps. Yours forever, Will Gideon.
I destroy you.
Yeah, he's made them a custom rehabilitative license plate reading, I destroy you.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and, we hear from another old antagonist as well.
Yes, that's true, but you didn't write a page number for this one.
Oh, fudge sickles.
Let me find it. 125, 127.
And that would be one Bill Cipher.
Bill Mischief Cipher?
William Mischief Cipher himself. So, may I read this one for all of you?
Oh, please do. Regale us with the tale.
Well. Old Pine Tree really is adorable, isn't he? Watching this sentient amalgamation of skin and plasma try to write a decent book is like watching a pancake try to teach a class on astrophysics. The only thing Dipper is an expert on is how to be in denial about the looming destruction that crawls closer toward humanity with every rotation of their planet around this underwhelming star. His simple-minded codes and supernatural tips won't help him when the rise of my nightmare realm brings forth Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just say it's gonna be a real party. Mabel, on the other hand, her I like. Fun is just another way of saying chaos, and I'm the master of that. Here's a list of some really fun things. Pulling teeth out of a deer's mouth. Asking why until someone runs out of answers and starts sobbing uncontrollably. Bending your fingers backwards as far as you can. Eating childhood memories. Making time stop forever. Transforming into whatever form people fear most. Silly straws. They crack me up. They're so silly. The conspiracies in this book are cute, sure, but they're just the tip of the triangle, you dig? You want to know some real conspiracies? Can you handle real knowledge? The moon landing was fake to hide the truth that the moon doesn't exist. It's a two-dimensional disc hiding alien space surveillance. Chairs have feelings and you cause them pain whenever you sit on one. Western democracy is a sham propped up by an elite cabal of the super rich. They have a really great rec room. I play ping pong there sometimes. Hey, Brett, how's it going?
Good one.
Global warming will eventually release something frozen in a glacier that's almost as powerful as me. Remember that thing your parents told you? The thing they said was really important and would make you feel safe and secure and help you sleep at night? They were lying! Pleasant dreams! Anyway, it's been fun tap dancing on your heads, but I've got places to be and alternate realities to tamper with. You humans are such tiny-minded folk. You can't see the ultraviolet patterns on flowers, understand the motion of the stars, or hear the thoughts of animals. Heck, I bet you can't even figure out the code I've hidden throughout this book. I'll be back, but remember, Nostradamus was a hack. Morality is a mental cage designed by the weak. How's Annie? Bye!
I wonder if the tap dancing on the head is like a lost reference to the Bill's entrance in Dreamscapers before they changed it.
Oh, when he was more just annoying than evil.
I think he literally tap dances in that one, but yeah.
He did, yeah. When he popped out of like a portal, he did the little
tap dance.
Da-da, zow.
There's a lot of references in here, but the most interesting of which is global warming will eventually release something frozen in a glacier that's almost as powerful as me. In Irrational Treasure, which is the episode right before Time Traveler's Pig, where we see Time Baby, The Northwest cover-up document mentions that there is a baby god frozen in a glacier. I don't remember the exact phrasing. Oh, I could just cut to Miles saying it.
There you go. Yeah.
An enormous, evil, time-traveling baby from another dimension is frozen in an Atlantic glacier. Fortunately, the glaciers never melt, so he should be fine.
So, there's that. And there's also a reference, another Twin Peaks reference here.
Yep.
Something more, specific than what we got in season 1, like we said.
I think it's the last line of the series.
It's the last line of the original, incarnation of the series. Yeah.
So I will play the original clip of Kyle MacLachlan as Agent Dale Cooper, so we think, saying that. Or Bob as Kyle MacLachlan as Agent Dale Cooper, so we think.
Complicated.
It's a little crazy.
How's Annie? How's Annie? How's Annie? How's Annie? How's Annie? How's Annie?
No, well, so Annie is a character in the last, I think, 2 episodes, or the last episode of Twin Peaks, played by Heather Graham, the girl from the second Austin Powers movie.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good for her. So Bill has previously spoken past the fourth wall to us, the audience, in Rumble's Revenge and Pine's Quest, but we didn't really know who he was at that point. And all the other information we've gotten has been him talking to other characters. So he's obviously keeping a lot of things close to the vest.
Close to the bow tie, no vest.
Close to the bow tie, yeah. That Dipper's got the vest. I got confused. But here, because he is speaking to us, the reader, not the characters, it seems like he's letting his guard down a little more. He's a little less secretive. He's giving us some freebie secrets.
He almost told us about the Nightmare Realm.
Whatever that is.
He hints at it. Whatever it is.
I do love, yeah. I love it. It's just 2 pages of unhinged rant from Bill. But because of that, we get more insight on his character, that he looks down on Dipper. He thinks that his attempts at figuring out secrets are laughable and pathetic, but he kind of respects Mabel. He enjoys that, what he perceives as chaos of Mabel's personality.
That was the understanding of Bill's worldview that informed the writing of the scene. Who would sacrifice everything for their dumb sibling?
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the final thing on his list of bombshell secrets that he reveals, remember that thing your parents told you? The thing they said was really important and would make you feel safe and secure and help you sleep at night? They were lying. Pleasant dreams. I feel this connection to, again, something Abby Kirby said in our sock opera episode about cosmic horror and how that is something beyond, like, something that adults or parents can protect you from, and how, like, kids interacting with cosmic horror, supernatural horror, like, they're kind of the only ones suited to fight that, and that is terrifying and empowering at the same time.
I was trying to think, what was it that my parents said that made me sleep safe at night? And I just remembered, and my dad is so cool, when I expressed to Dad, what if there's a monster in my closet or under my bed, he responded, then I will kick its ass. No monster is touching my children.
So if that was a lie, it's not that monsters aren't real.
Listen, he looked me dead in the eyes when he said that. Maybe the things other parents tell you was just to make you feel safe.
No, but that wasn't, yeah.
I think my dad was actually about ready to just tear into some monster.
Yeah. No, I believe it. I believe it.
Do you think there's a chance that either secretly or perhaps if things had panned out differently, my father could be a supernatural style hunter?
Yes.
How do you know he's not?
I said either secretly or...
Oh, I see, yeah. I'm going with secretly.
But no, well, okay, but if it was a secret, why did he say he would kick the monster's ass?
Well, because he can't lie.
They didn't reveal the mom's past in Supernatural until, like, season 13, so, like...
Right, which means it was totally intended, because they planned all of that show.
You have to kill Satan first,
that show
Charley.
was very well planned out.
They kill Satan at the end of season 5. The episode in which they kill Satan. Sorry, I keep talking about Supernatural. I like Supernatural. Let me live.
It's entirely relevant,
The episode in which they kill Satan opens with opening narration by God saying endings are hard to write. Then there's a season 6.
And several more after
those
that, too.
wacky guys.
And also a season 13, according to Shelby, which doesn't sound right.
I feel like there's a 15th season. That doesn't feel right. It's apparently ended, but that doesn't feel right either. Has Supernatural ever really
Jensen
ended?
Ackles older than Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in the first episode.
Oh, very probably. I'm not going to give an affirmative, but very probably.
At the final reward for all of our troubles of going through this book is a fun little reversible poster.
I don't really see any of it as troubles. I just see it as a cherry on top.
Yeah, reward for all of
we had to go through it to get to it. So this is a cherry under the ice cream.
Oh, yeah. They should start doing that.
That's good. I like that, actually.
Yeah, it's like the chocolate in the bottom of the cones when you get those,
yes!
Yeah,
it's like
that's
the
what it
chocolate
is.
in the bottom of the cones, Ella. This is why Shelby is the honorary curator.
This is why they pay you the big bucks, Shelby.
It's true, the biggest of bucks. Ella presented a sundae. I present a sundae cone.
I'll present on Monday if both of you are going in the same day, yeah.
We have time. But yeah, the poster in the back of the book is a reversible combination of a several times poster on one side and a map of Gravity Falls on the other side.
As well as we also get a certificate when we finish that is also reversible. There's a Mabel certificate of fun and a Dipper's certificate of mystery. So both of y'all, which side you go with? I got a pirate-themed room, so I think the certificate of mystery and the town map fit a little closer with my decor.
Oh yeah, no, I did the opposite. I did the Mabel certificate of fun and the several times poster, my favorite boy band.
So I think I'm going to go with the Dipper certificate of mystery and the several times poster.
That's what I was thinking, what Shelby was going to do. Actually, yeah, okay, that's fun that we all...
Well, not only, actually, it's an autographed several times poster.
That's
Every
true.
member has signed the poster.
But in 6 months, I'm going to turn it to my certificate of fun and my poster of Gravity Falls.
Oh,
okay, I like
the story
Hades
of Persephone.
and Persephone.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Also, I just realized, yes, it is autographed by all of the members several times, but there's some space on there, and their voice actors did not sign it. I have a new life goal.
Oh my gosh,
There you
yes,
go.
please!
I will get Matt Chapman, Alex Hirsch, and Lance Bass to sign my several times poster.
And you're going to get him to sign the barrel, right?
Lance Bass is, of course, going to sign the Lance Bass barrel, which we're working on, gang.
In search of, yes.
No leads yet.
We're on our quest. Yeah.
But we do have a Google Doc dedicated to the search.
Rome wasn't stolen in a day.
And we can't really get into, us trying to piece together this mystery in this room.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's Shelby, why don't you take us to the place that is much more suited for that kind of conspiring?
Oh my god, in our Christmas episode, we didn't say later on we'll conspire.
It's okay, we can say it now.
Come this way, one and all, to the Hall of Conspiracies.
All right, now we're conspiring.
Yes.
This is the later on, in which we will conspire.
So, Charlie.
That's me!
That's you.
You're so smart, Ella.
I know, I'm very perceptive. There's a page in here about how to tell if the goat that's been following you around is a supernatural goat or if it's just a regular goat.
And both of you guys were like, who would get followed by a goat?
Perhaps a goat-related being?
There's a park near Rutgers University in New Brunswick that has a lot of animals along its little walking trail. And one day, as I walked past the goat's cage, there was this one goat that would walk along with me, stop when I stopped, and the second I stayed still and within its reach for long enough, spit on me. And later that day, I saw some people feeding the goats in the horizon as I walked back to my car. I parked near the goat cage, of course. And this goat stops eating the treats it's being given when it sees me approaching and readies its mouth to spit. And as we read this page, I told you guys that story, and I realized I had never Googled what goat spitting mean. That's a mating ritual. That goat thought I was hot, and I get it, honestly.
You are the prettiest goat, Charlie.
I'm a very pretty goat, so I don't blame the goat at all. But this page kind of led credence to a fan theory that was sort of already out there in the ether.
Even before Bill Cipher shows up, people were constantly commenting like, oh, look at the goat's eyes. What's up with the goat's pupils? And
they do look incredibly similar to Bipper's pupils in sock opera.
I mean, like, given goat eyes are already pretty demonic looking, which is why they are used.
And that was the counter argument that a lot of people were making. But this page, we're not here to make fun of any fan theories. And that was what we were rebutting at the time. This page, I don't know. It seems like there might be something going on with Gompers.
Because there is definitely a pattern of, Gompers is present when Dipper finds the journal. Gompers is present when Wax Stan gets decapitated. Yeah, a lot of coincidental appearances that people were catching on to. And that the book is now acknowledging.
I just Googled goat eyes again, and I'm gonna click away.
Sorry, I love them personally. I think goats are adorable.
I think that in the context of the face, they're cute. In the context of just as close-up on the eyeball itself, it's unsettling.
Listen, the only thing more adorable than goats to me are me to goats, apparently.
That is accurate.
It's a kinship, if you will.
In Dipper's Guide to the Unexplained, Stan's Tattoo, we see a page about a secret society known as the Blind Eye. That kind of connects with both the ending cryptogram from Gideon Rises and the symbol that shows up if you connect the puzzle pieces from all the Dipper's Guide shorts.
And even in season 2, that crossed out eye symbol's been appearing in some backgrounds.
Yeah, that was on the dumpster when Stan and Old Goldie were fighting Willie Badger. This is a weird show, I just realized.
It's a very weird show. So, page 137, which is all about secret society members, because we realized they probably can't say cult, but that's maybe a question for Rob.
I don't know, we'll ask him sometime.
Yeah.
They do not have a standards and practices in publishing.
Okay.
They have their own set of standards, but their set of standards are looser and more forgiving.
Interesting.
Like all the occult stuff that's in the book, all that reference, like we never got any pushback on any of that from them.
Well, speaking of, we did wonder, everyone in the book says the phrase secret society. Yeah, it sounds like what you're saying is there was no issue, but we were wondering if there was an issue with saying the word cult, or maybe you just never...
I don't remember. That might have been one of the things they wanted to avoid was the word cult.
Yeah.
But I don't honestly remember.
The word secret society had shown up in the show, so that maybe that was an S&P...
I mean, that was also,
television thing.
Yeah.
Cult is definitely touchy. But we also might have just been saying...
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I think we might have been saying secret society because secret society encompasses more than cult does, right? You can be in a secret society that's not a cult.
I like to think I am, Rob. I like to think this is our own little book club here. The four of us.
It's a little less secret if you're broadcasting it to the world, so I don't know how this qualifies as secret.
We are releasing it to the world on Wednesday. But right now, this is just between the three of us.
Oh, I see. It's a very short-lived secret society.
There you go. So this page about secret society members features illustrations of some robed figures with the crossed-out eye symbol on their hoods. And this is the first time that we're seeing that symbol on a person. We've seen it on documents. We've seen it on locations.
This book is the first instance we get of any of these society members.
Gotcha.
That was just introduced. If you were following this chronologically as the podcast is guiding you to, you have just for the first time in your life seen a Blind Eye member.
That is pretty dope.
I know. I love stuff like that so much. Abby Kirby calls them paratexts. There's so much more information, so many more puzzle pieces you have to use if you are paying attention to the expanded universe material.
I will tell you, like, between that and what was going on Tumblr, there was some wild things.
They really made my heart sing.
Yeah, if only there was some way to make sort of a time capsule of that experience?
Yeah.
I will.
No, we're doing book club today, so out of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, sometime. We get another secret society symbol that's been seen around the show for the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel, which was actually first name-dropped in one of the very first online Flash games for Gravity Falls. It was a point-and-click adventure, very, very basic. It's called Mystery Shack Mystery, and if you clicked on that tapestry in the Mystery Shack, it would give you the name. But here, Charlie, you noticed that it connects way back to Gobblewonker.
Oh, yes, because they said the Royal Order of the Holy Mackerel is possibly a fishing group.
Yes.
And Stan says in Gobblewonker the reason that he has invited Dipper and Mabel to go fishing is because the fellas at the lodge don't like or trust him. So it kind of has never really been touched on what the lodge was. And up until this moment, I thought never was. But no, this collection of symbols that has been appearing in the background in the Mystery Shack seems to be related to the people who used to go fishing with him before they decided they don't like or trust him.
Although I do also appreciate the way it's like, but it seems like the person using these does not understand the symbols that they're using.
Just cram together a bunch of vaguely historical symbols.
Yeah. Although I'll also say that if you're watching this on Disney Plus, you are missing out a little bit because they do take the symbol off his hat.
Oh, you think there's a connection to the Fez?
I mean, the Fez is part of the Order of the Holy Mackerel.
Oh, it is? Yeah.
That is the symbol of the Order of the Holy Mackerel. That's why it's changed in the series.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it turns to a fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's supported additionally by when Dipper is listing, like, what secret societies tend to do. He's like, usually there's, like, a bunch of rich guys who, like, sit around and talk. Charlie and I always make the joke that real life secret cabals that control everything are not secret at all. They're very openly controlling everything.
No, it's so funny that there are these theories of who's controlling the world, and then, like, Disney is changing copyright laws.
Yep.
Perfectly aligning with whenever Mickey Mouse was supposed to become public domain.
Yep.
So I just feel like it feels like there are some people out here being like, hey, we control the world, and everyone's like, yeah, but who really does? And then the billionaires are like, well, it's us. Yeah, we did that.
We just told you. So for a book that has an entire section about cryptograms and codes, and actually invites you to make your own decoder wheel for the Caesar cipher, which we did. It was
and
amazing.
to create your completely new cipher.
Do you want to talk about the...
No, I want you guys to sing my praises for me.
Oh, yes. Charlie had a great code that we decoded.
Well, so it's called the cipher. And yeah, basically the way it works, it's pretty simple to figure out. So, A is A, B is A, C is A, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're all A. You guys did figure out what I wrote, though. You did decode my message.
That's true.
But it was because there was an apostrophe in one of the words, and the next word was a single. And you were like, okay, so it's a one-letter word followed by a two-letter word with an apostrophe in the middle. I think that's I'm A. And from the rest of that, you were able to piece together...
Can you give us that in cipher?
Yes. So the translation is roughly "your face is good." I'm a Seuss, but in the native, yes, in the native
dialect,
but in the original dialect,
dialect, that would actually be
There we go.
There it is. How authentic. How authentic.
I love that. That's good.
So naturally, there are a lot of cryptograms in this book.
That's why we have 3 curators today to read through all of these.
Yeah. There on the back cover, there are some highlighted letters in Dipper and Mabel's description of the book. And when you put them all together, they spell out, "Let the games begin." In each line of Gideon's prison letter, there is a letter that's randomly capitalized. And when you put them together, they spell, "Help me escape or be destroyed." And the zip code of the prison in the A1Z26 numerical cipher is literally jail zip, which I find very funny.
Ella, you have such a frickin' range. And I'm like always so impressed.
Thank you.
So, Bill introduces us to his own symbol substitution cipher, similar to the authors in some pages we see in Journal 3. Cracking the code reveals these messages throughout the pages.
Dipper wrote a theme song for himself and sings it in the shower.
After nightmares, Mabel meows herself back to sleep.
Sus keeps candy in his belly button for emergencies.
Stan was a baby model.
The mayor of Gravity Falls is not long for this world.
Wendy wishes she lived in Portland.
The end of the world is closer than the end of summer.
Something strange is buried under Gravity Falls.
Time Baby is worried about Bill.
Bud Gleeful wants to run for mayor.
McGucket has seen terrible things.
Grenda will marry Rich.
That burnt tree by Seuss's house is odd.
Seuss writes fanfics about Stan. That's just lazy Susan.
The gnomes have a clear view of Northwest Manor.
Dipper and Mabel's father worked computers.
Robbie secretly draws anime.
The invisible wizard keeps untying Dipper's shoes.
The government can be forgetful.
Growing up is optional.
Shelby, how old are you?
If you add the numbers in my age together, you get 4, but I am 31. But growing up is optional.
Yeah, you did need your partner's help getting you out of 10 sweaters.
Yeah, and he gave me the same look I imagine Dipper did to Mabel when he came in the room when Mabel did this.
Because you know Mabel did. There's a picture of Mabel doing it in that page of the book.
Yeah. It was that face that after she says you sneeze like a kitten, he makes.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting tidbits about the characters, as well as hints of things that might be to come, similar to the codes from Rumble's Revenge, I think.
Yeah.
Because that was back when we first learned that there's a secret society in Gravity Falls, and here we're learning some new little tidbits.
And there's some things that spawned us for a while we were waiting for the next episode that came out a couple weeks later.
Exactly. So the certificates that we mentioned that you can tear out and hang on your wall or, in your office. Or...
I'm the one with the office in this equation.
That's true.
Yeah. The border of Dipper's Certificate of Mystery is actually in very tiny text, a long message in Caesar cipher. And when you decode it, I think, Charlie, would you like to take this?
Yeah, okay, yeah. By signing this official document, you are hereby agreeing to dedicate your life, your afterlife, and any potential clone lives to the discovery, uncovery, is that a word? And exploration of the paranormal, the supernatural, the alter average, and the extra usual. When friends ask you to stop being paranoid, you will scoff. When they say that you've been acting really weird since you read that book and they don't even recognize you anymore, that means they're jealous. You are like me now. We are part of a higher calling. We will meet one day, and on that glorious day, we will show the small-minded doubters that we were right all along, and are also really cool, and they should have been nicer to us. Okay, that's about it. This sort of sounds like a supervillain manifesto in retrospect, but you get the gist. Ella, we're gonna meet Dipper one day? What?
That would be so weird.
Well, actually, Dipper's not real.
What? No! Gravity Falls is real and it will never die.
Who was that a quote from?
I believe, Sir Jason Ritter.
Sir Jason Ritter of Gravity Falls.
Recently knighted Sir Jason Ritter.
The voice of Dipper Pines. We'll be here next week, listeners.
Woo! Ow!
Get excited, guys.
So, as Shelby observed, the capitalized letters in that supervillain manifesto, as Dipper said, take you to a now defunct website, disneyxd.com/aren'tyouklever, and it gives you this image that I'll link in the description. It actually reveals the key to the combination ciphers that we've been decoding in that big list.
Charlie, why don't you read that message?
There's a message, there's a key as well as another coded message that says...
Yeah, so the coded message is, to make sure you're using the key correctly so you could follow it from here on.
Yeah.
And it says, "You're not as dumb as you seem. I've got secrets if you know where to look. The people of this town are an open book."
And it seems... The implication seems to be that you were supposed to find this first, even though the certificate is in the very back of the book, and because it is a symbol substitution cipher, you can brute force your way into figuring out what letters are what. You don't necessarily need a key if you...
I think it's that you're just supposed to ignore those symbols the first time through the book, then... Like, I think this is supposed to add rereading value to the book.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess it also helps that the code on the certificate is Caesar, which is the earliest one that people are used to seeing and decoding by now, but it's really small font. Yet again, something that Abby Kirby brought up is the impermanence of digital records makes the stuff that we're doing and the stuff that Abby's doing that much more important, because, like, this site's gone now. You can't go there, but we have this simulated, this week it's a book club.
I can't go to the site?
No, you can't go.com to that site anymore.
But what if I wanted to go to a website? Are there any other websites? Are they all gone?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the only good remaining website would be pipedreampodcast.com.
Is that the website where you can find other episodes of this show, as well as the podcast Escape from Walt Disney, How Did This Not Get Made, and come on Fahuqua Pods?
Lucky guess. That the very same.
Wait. The pipedreampodcasts.com, where you can find links to our show's social media's Discord server and our Patreon, patreon.com/Mystery Shack?
It sure is. I think you're getting too specific at this point.
Wait. The Patreon, in which $3 will get you a shout out at the end of episodes, $5 will get you into viewing parties for, viewing, it's a book. We're going to be doing some of the activity, leading you guys in doing the activities and reading some snippets together in the Discord tonight. And $40 gets you voice or art commissions from Charley and Ella, respectively.
That is, I mean, disrespectively if you want, but
yeah, if you want to give me $40 to draw you a picture, or give Ella $40 to record something for you, we'll give it a go.
We can do it.
I mean, we've established that Ella has range, so...
That's true, and also I can draw. I recently remembered, if you go back and look at our thumbnail for, Shelby's laughing, but it's true.
I know!
Oh yeah, Headhunters.
Headhunters. I drew that Duck-tective, which I did not think I was capable of.
Yes, so that is indeed the Patreon that we are referring to, as well as the email that you can contact us at if you want to send us anything about experiences you've had in the Gravity Falls fandom, any theories you've had, anything you have to say about this Dipper and Mabel's guidebook, even, and maybe we'll feature you in our mail room.
I would like to thank Brian for making the instrumental to our theme song. I would like to thank Sim and the Dimbulb for making the instrumental to the Hall of Conspiracies, which is a full song, and that is linked in the description. I would like to thank Adam. I would like to. But most of all, I would like to thank Shelby.
That's me!
Thank you, Shelby! Curosent!
I feel like I should get that tattooed.
Shelby, do you have anything you'd like our listeners to check out? Maybe something with you, or maybe something out of left field?
So, I don't know. I think you should check out Gravity Falls on Disney+. Maybe also check out DuckTales while you're there. Those are things I'm very passionate about. But yeah, I would say if you want to find me on anything, my handles on just about everything is Shelby Sessler, ShelbySessler. That's on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, the majority of things, and then on YouTube, I'm Shelbini VO. There's some DuckTales things on there.
What?
I know!
We have fun here.
We have non-stop fun here, I would go as far as to say.
Hey folks, we had a lot of non-stop fun here tonight, but...
Oh, and also, thank you to future Rob Renzetti for answering our questions. If you heard that somehow, congratulations, you have the second site.
And the third season of Kid Cosmic, the show that Rob's worked on, drops on February 3rd. So be sure to check that out.
Oh, also, for today's podcast, we actually interviewed Rob Renzetti for a full half hour. So if you want to hear that rather than just the snippets we used, that's going to be on patreon.com/Mystery Shack for anyone in the $3 tier or up. So he has a lot more interesting things to say. I would recommend checking that out. Ella, do you remember when Shelby tuned your ukulele? back in 2015. Well, you better hope it's still tuned, because I'm gonna need you to play us out.
Oh yeah, when I tune it, it's tuned forever.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. I haven't needed to touch it
like,
since
hey,
then.
Shelby, can you tune my ukulele? And then she turns around in a swivel chair and is underlit with red and is like,
Eyes are glowing.
oh, I
yeah.
can tune it eternally.
Ink isn't worth anything to me, Ella.
I was trying to set up Ella to make a Phantom of the Paradise reference.
Take me back to the place I know with the mystery shack and the forest gnomes. I'm already packed, so come on, let's go. Don't get me started. My heart's in Gravity Falls.
Oh, hey, Magazine Seuss.
Oh, hey, Jesus.
Do you want to give some patron shout-outs with me?
Oh, I love listing things.
All right. Thank you, too.
Daddy Driftwood.
Daddy Buttons.
Juno Series.
Gwen Prime.
Junior Bra.
Friendly Local Geek.
Fun. Boringness.
Hugh Salinas.
David Gansel.
Ryan Faber.
Stephen Patrick Maholland. And Oliver Pluto. We are going to use that money to procure snacks.
Send us some more snack procuring money over at patreon.com/mysteryshack.